The documentation, I know it has an onSelect prop that calls a callback and passes in an emoji object. Let's see what that is. So let's make a function called handle emoji select. It's going to pass in an emoji. I don't really know what that is. Let's just console log the emoji when that comes in there. And also, once you select one, we should probably close this thing. So I'll do this.togglePicker. So we'll hide it again after we select one. So on the picker, I'll put onSelect equals this dot, what did I call that? Handle emoji select. See what we get. There's my selector. Let's pick old squirrely pants here. Or chipmunk. Okay, so console logs this. So it doesn't do anything. It just gives you this data for you to do what you want with which to do what you want. There you go. It just gives you this object with which to do what you want. So remember that this package also has a whole nother component called emoji. And it looks like you can pass in things like this colon business or this ID or just this thing. So let's look at this object. This object has a property called colons, which gives us colon chipmunk colon. Gives us an ID, it gives us a name. It gives us the actual emoji if we want to actually use that. Point is we can do what we want with this object. It just gives it to us. It's up to us to like save it in our database somewhere and display it on the screen differently. So log the selected emoji in the console. What would we like to do with it? So right now a message looks something like this. So this is a message, right? We have a body. We have a user object. We have the time it was created. What else is on the... Oh, we have a list of... no, we don't. Well, a message looks something like that, right? Let's look at one of these messages. Database. Let's look at one of our rooms. Let's look at our messages. Let's look at a message. Has a body, created at, an ID, a key, and a user. So what if a message also had reactions? And that could be an array or it could be an object. Maybe it's an object that has as its key something like colon chipmunk colon. And then as its value, it has the number of times that that particular emoji has been added to this message. So we could do something like that. We could sort in Firebase like that once we get it back. And then if that were there, if reactions were just another property of the message, then inside our message component, we could, right inside here, we could do a map over that and spit out a little component that shows all the reactions. I think that's the approach I would take if I were the approach taking type. Are you the approach taking type? Cool. See how far you can get with this. So let's see here. Day 11. See how far you can get implementing emoji reactions. So we can pick the emoji. We can console log whichever one they picked. I showed you kind of what I would do. Hopefully you were looking. See if you can store something about what reactions have been added in Firebase connected to that message, and then actually display it on the screen next to these things. See how far I can get with that. sync state, yeah. You should not have to change that at all. You should not have to worry about Firebase at all. If you just add the reactions to the message object, the messages are already getting synced, right? Yeah. So you should be able to just do that. Super mega bonus credit. Reflect on how much you've learned these last 3 weeks. Because really, you've come a long way from making a button that just changes a heading. That seems ridiculous now in light of the kind of stuff we're doing. We've rebuilt a not entirely terrible React clone in a pretty short time from just making one button that does one thing. So go you. Really, this has been a really good group. I'm very pleased with the progress you've made. So celebrate yourself responsibly. Some fizzy water, maybe at most. Add day 11 homework. Sparkling water, that's right.